So the reason we're doing this is that Pornhub, according to research and analytics, courtesy of Jason Rubin, dives deep into the Pornhub analytics, has found out that when major sporting events go on, Pornhub takes a massive dip in their viewership. So we have some graphics to back this up. The first one is Champions League. You naughty, naughty individuals. Hit me. So as you can see, Pornhub traffic during the Champions League final by country here was down 19%, down 17%, all the way down to those French who were still, well, probably because France weren't in the... Spain is obviously the main one because the two teams that were in the Champions League final were the Spanish teams, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid.
So you have to keep in mind, too, that so Iceland was 17% during the Champions League final, which was with two Spanish teams. Could you imagine what Iceland's traffic was with the 330,000 people when Iceland was playing in the Euros? It was probably negative over 100%. The future babies in the wombs were still watching the game.
Well, that's because every Icelandic person was in the stadium. So unless you're some sick individual who's sitting in the stadium like this, there's a guy in the back. He's got his phone out.
There's a girl in the back.
What is he doing? So, as you can see, it correlates with what was going on at the time. So, as you mentioned there, Spain took a massive dip in traffic because Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. And don't be surprised if next year, if an English team, well, right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If next year maybe an Italian team like Juventus got into it, then those Italians were taking a break from Pornhub as well. But Jason, it's not just in the Champions League.
No, the Euros were pretty bad.
Hit me with the Euros.
Euros were very interesting. Wait till you get to how disgusting America is. So look at that dip. Like that's traffic. This is the traffic change during the final match, Portugal versus France, and they're going at like hour by hour. So like right at the height of the game, right? Portugal was negative 80% traffic. That's like an entire country's worth of people. They average out to minus 66%, while France was negative 54%. The entirety of Europe at some point was still below. So France, immediately after that goal gets scored from they all, look at the dip, up.
Fuck this. Fuck.
They all went and wanked it. That's unbelievable.
I can just imagine some crying.
And then Portugal at the end with the victory wank. 20%.
I can imagine some just crying France fans were like, there's only one thing that's going to take this pain away.
Hey,
I'm going to use my tears as lube.
You play Sarah McLachlan music and you open up your laptop and they're just like...
you crying dirty French, taking away that pain. But Jason, America is not, they're not going to be exempt from this rule.
No, of course
they
not.
are just as disgusting. They are just as horrible men. They care about nothing more than sports and sex, because the NBA Finals saw a massive dip as well.
Yeah, specifically Cleveland. San Francisco must be a very clean, I don't want to say respectable, because the numbers of people who actually watch porn have to be through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be like 83% of people who say they're not watching porn are lying about it.
Yeah,
that's a made-up statistic.
I'll never understand that. It's like the most common and most natural thing in the world to do that as a guy. So people are like,
no.
Especially the guys that are like, oh, I've got a girlfriend, dude, I don't need to do it anymore. Shut up! Shut your fucking mouth. I know.
Back to the graphic. Back to the not-so-graphic graphic. Minus 47%. Close to negative 50% for Cleveland, right about 10 p.m., which is right about when the NBA Finals would start, if that's Eastern time, because the games would be on about 7 p.m.
Or it could be when it ends. It seems like we've got a real clear understanding of how sports fans celebrate victories, no matter what.
Honestly, I guess nobody in San Francisco watches porn. And not nobody, but that's not that much of a dip.
Breaking even.
10%, that's like... They might be getting their wanks in between quarters. Welcome to the Carl's Cam Dunk Cam. They're like, oh, I got to get a wank in real quick. And then lastly, I think we have the Super Bowl, which is like America's biggest sporting event. Oh, my God, the United States as a whole.
You dirty individuals.
Canada, too.
Canada's getting nothing else to do.
The world, for whatever reason, around, what is that, midnight, 12 a.m.?
Yeah. Maybe that's prime time.
I mean, that's prime time. All right, so game time's at 6:30. So right about at kickoff, about the first quarter, about 7 p.m., nobody's wanking it. And then right about halftime, there's a little bit of an increase, so a little bit of wanking. And then all the way back up to 15% traffic increase.
Well, a theory about the world is that a lot of people who are watching the Super Bowl are up at extreme hours, like because of the time difference.
Right.
Like I'm taking, for instance, the UK. I've watched the Super Bowl before in the UK, and you know when you're watching it at night, and then you flick over to Channel 5 in the UK, and there happens to be a little kinky movie on at the same time because it's like 2 a.m. You never know. You might take there's a lot of downtime in American football that you could sneak a few hundred in there.
According to the Pornhub traffic, after about 10 p.m., there's a lot of uptime.
Oh, how could you?
Is that good, Ja'Cory? Is that okay? Does that make the cut?
No.
No.
No, we need a Ja'Cory cam. Why do we never do this?
I want a
His
Ja'Cory
reactions are best.
Right. These numbers should not surprise anybody.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody.
I would like to get it broken down if there's a way by like demographic area so that we could figure out age groups, so we could figure out gender.
Age groups, 13 to 16 primarily in the country. You would think, and then there's always going to be like the elderly home that just found out about the internet. And you're like, this is
can you put that channel on again?
Make it bigger!
We are disturbed. Either way, hit us in the comments. Are you surprised about this? Were you one of the one that was playing into this drop? Did you turn off the Pornhub and turn on the NBA? Let us know. Did you celebrate the Cavs win with a little squeaking of the dragon? With a little stroking of the pole? Hit us in the comment section below. At Jason Rubin 91, at Francis_Maxwell. And as always, nothing but the best stories here on 2IT Sports.